Hi again, everyone. Welcome to those who are new to our virtual learning sessions, and welcome back to our parent partners. I'm Dr. Angel. I'm an early child development consultant from the Growing Brain PH. I've been conducting these virtual learning sessions every once in a while to help answer some of the questions that are brought up on social media on our social media pages, and also really just wanting to support the parenting journey of parents who have very young children in their early years of 0 to 5 years old, especially because these are the years wherein our children are developing so quickly and learning so much so quickly as well. So today's session is actually a sequel to our developmental milestones video. If you'd like to take a look, it's also on our YouTube page. So what I'd like to be able to do is give some tips and strategies to support the eager learners or eager 2-year-old learners in terms of their communication skills, their thinking skills, and their social emotional skills. So let's start with how can we help support and enhance their communication? Communication, again, can be receptive, what they understand, and expressive, the things that they can say or the sounds that they're producing. And so what I wanted to really encourage is that if we can use our everyday situation so that you can talk with them, you can actually ask them certain questions and have child-led activities. And these are all things that assist or support language development. And what does that look like? You can actually talk with your child. Talking with them helps build the vocabulary that they hear. You could introduce words through your day-to-day activities. Let's say you're having a snack or having snack time and you're eating ice cream. You can easily talk about the flavor. You can say, oh, you're having chocolate ice cream or vanilla ice cream or what your favorites might be. You can comment on it. Oh, the ice cream is really cold, or the ice cream is so yummy. So there are ways to introduce words to our little ones. You can have our day-to-day activities and you can introduce concepts. Like when you're taking a bath, you can talk about body parts, identifying which parts we're cleaning, which ones we're washing. You can wash your doll and have your little one, maybe, can you scrub the nose? Can you wash his feet? Can you wash the hands? And without testing them, really. And maybe that's the other thing that we want to encourage or discourage. We want to discourage testing our kids as if it's always a quiz and asking them, what's this, what's that, what color is this, what color is that. If we do it while we're playing, while we're interacting with them in a way that is child-led, where they're enjoying it, we can actually introduce a lot of concepts without asking those what questions at this time. And you'll notice that they would probably want to have a conversation with you more. Because, right, even when you and I have conversations with other adults, it's not that we ask them questions that we already know the answer to. We ask them questions in the way that we're conversing and discussing what we're enjoying with each other. So I wanted to give some examples in terms of pictures. So look at the play between this mom and the little girl. They have some simple objects, but what's really nice about this interaction is, although the objects are very simple, mom has this bright smile on her face, her enjoyment of what they're doing together. And you'll notice she's holding up 2 objects up to eye level for her child. So this might be a way to give your child choices, letting them communicate, an opportunity for them to point or choose, because that's a way to communicate with us. This little girl is also pointing. So pointing is a gesture that we want our children to practice also. It's a way to declare. It's a way to express that they might want something or want to show you something. So we want to give them these types of opportunities to communicate with us. So imagine the fun they're having with playing with cars and the different sounds you can make when you play with vehicles. Vroom, it's going fast, it's going slow, it's going up, it's sliding down. So again, going back, there's a lot of concepts that you can introduce just playing, playing along or playing with things that they're enjoying. Playing games together also gives you a chance to teach them other skills that are thinking based or social emotional based, because then you're given a chance to take turns. You're given a chance to maybe wait, so becoming a little less impulsive. Also finding another piece to put on top of each other. It's all part of the playing games with our kids. Which moves us into developing thinking skills. So aside from communicating, I guess what's nice about play is that you can actually use play to develop thinking skills as well, and not just play, even our day-to-day activities. So we want to help them develop thinking skills by letting them solve problems. So when your child is struggling with a puzzle, for example, you might want to encourage him to try different spaces, different techniques, maybe help them turn the piece first, versus just helping them or fixing it for them right away, so that you kind of want to see how long you can stretch their attention and maybe their level of frustration, because the more they practice that level of frustration without going overboard that they get upset, actually extends their attention also. They're also creating memories, and you're helping them again having attention by doing these types of things. The other type of activities you can do for building memory and expanding attention could be the older kids, the older 2-year-olds. You might want to talk about the day, maybe run through what you did during the day and kind of build on or remember what they experienced. And this can easily be a learning experience for them also. You can also encourage logic in everyday situations. So the one example that I'm thinking of, just because it rained today, it's raining. What do we need? So we need to put on a coat, or we need to bring an umbrella to go outside to keep dry. So those are just some examples. And I always get a question of what kind of toys do we need to get for our kids? Really, you can do everyday household items. But just to be a little bit more thorough, I wanted to just show some examples through these pictures. I really like encouraging open-ended play and a lot of movement play. So you'll notice I did put some pictures of blocks and playing outside. This is an age where they need a lot of movement activity and maturing their movement skills. That's why we really want to encourage it. And movement really feeds the brain and helps it mature and organize. But some parents might want to introduce some activities already to their kids, and activities that might have an objective. And these could be as simple as sorting toys, things where they can do simple puzzles, matching objects, and counting, maybe. These are new problem-solving activities that your children might enjoy. And I think what's important is just trying to gauge where your child is in terms of their skill set, and if these are activities that they can easily do already, or maybe have a little bit of assistance, or maybe you simplifying it. So just taking, for example, the puzzle here on the slide with the 6 shapes. If, let's say, your child has a hard time identifying or finding the right piece, maybe you can remove just 3 pieces first, so that he would only need to find 3 pieces in the beginning, and then make it harder by making him find 4 pieces next time, or 5 pieces, until he's able to actually do all 6. So they're really, at this age, are also using their new thinking skills for playing pretend. And so that's why in this picture, and I don't know if you've experienced children just having so much fun with a plain box, especially those kids who have exposure to a lot of different experiences, they can actually put what they've seen in real life into their play also, which is why experiences for kids are so important for them, that they see the day-to-day activities of their parents, they get to try them also, because then they can also bring them into when they do pretend play. And then the last one that we wanted to tackle with this video is social emotional development. The first one we put here was don't fear tantrums. Tantrums is a very frequent question that I get on Instagram. So tantrums are common during this stage of development, and I kind of shy away from calling it terrible twos because it's developmentally expected of them. And it's because they're gradually trying to learn, and they are also just about to learn how to manage disappointment, how to manage their anger and frustration. And that's what tantrums are. They are usually an expression of an emotion that they're feeling. And I think what we have to remember is that having feelings actually isn't a bad thing. It's more of what we do with the feelings that's more important. And so what needs to happen is we need to be responding sensitively when they're having these big feelings also, but not to just let them go ahead and feel it and just tantrum away, but maybe we need to find out the reason why they went crying already. And if it's because of an activity that was not allowed, maybe we need to help them think of the next activity they can be doing instead of just saying plain no. Because usually when they're already at a tantrum level, they're no longer thinking straight. Just think of it as maybe when we ourselves are very frustrated and annoyed with maybe a coworker or another friend, sometimes you can't think straight and don't know what to do. You try to make yourself busy, but we're adults, so we can think of that. Sometimes our kids are not able to do that and might need our help to do it as well. I think something to also remember is that when they go into a tantrum, the less your big reaction to them also, the more quickly the toddler can actually recover. So what you can help yourself do is also become calm when addressing your highly energized toddler who might be having the tantrum. You can take deep breaths, you can count to 10, or whatever helps you not overreact to the situation. But of course, I do have to put a caveat. There are times when we do need to react more quickly than all of this processing of feelings, especially when it comes to safety of our kids. We do need to be able to set limits for them. And I think what's important is that we're consistent when we set these limits with them. Let your child know you see that they're having a hard time, and that when they're calm again, then maybe you can do something else together and kind of move on from that. And then the last is giving them chances to play, because play is an opportunity for them to practice these skills, these social emotional skills. As we mentioned earlier, even those of taking turns and waiting as well. So just to give examples, some of our day-to-day situations where we can practice social emotional skills and getting along with other people, or learning to wait, learning to have better attention, and maybe improving our memory, is having a responsive adult who listens to them, including them in their day-to-day activities so that they learn the process of what needs to be done. They enjoy being with you, and they learn responsibility. And when they're successful, self-esteem. When they're not feeling good about themselves, they're more willing to come to us, to talk to us. And of course, when the time is appropriate, or when we can, or if they're able, getting a chance to practice being with other children or interacting with other children. For busier parents, if it's possible, really, you can try to involve them in your daily activities, because involving them right now, it might be hard in the first few times because it takes a little bit longer. But if you invest that time, it teaches them to be independent also, and they will eventually learn to be able to help you if you give them a chance to be helpful. It also gives them a chance to learn from mistakes, because they won't always get it right. right? Especially if they're just beginning to eat by themselves, they'll probably make a mess. They might drop certain things. So again, that safety piece, of course, you want to give them something that can't hurt them, but to give them a just right challenge so that they can build that self-esteem. And that way, again, the self-esteem, but also building on their communication skills, building on their thinking skills, and really just having them as part of your family, as part of your community, and being able to contribute to that. And it's also a nice way to pass down values and things that you want them to learn. So the children will not learn something that they were not yet exposed to. And it needs to happen consistently and repeatedly as well. So that is the last slide that I have. I want to thank you again for being here and for your attention in this short lecture. If you enjoyed our discussion, don't forget to like and subscribe to our page for more of our learning sessions. And then if you have questions, comments, and suggestions, feel free to leave us a message below. Hope to see you again next time. Bye-bye.